Well, welcome. We have a new project that we've just completed, and in this video we're going to really walk through the completed project. It's I guess a classic 6, I guess I would say it's a classic 6. 2 bedrooms, technically it's got 2.5 baths almost. Huge big foyer and closets and kitchen and office, which was a former maid's room, and powder bath back there. But let's walk through and go through what we did in this apartment. This has been not quite a gut renovation. We had existing closets here, which have huge, they all have their jamb light switches, which were here. The existing interiors of the closets we kept. We refinished the floors, changed and switched out all of the outlets and switches and dimmer switches so that we have everything up to snuff and they're all matching. In the living room, we replaced all of the fixtures, and basically the challenge of this apartment was to bring it back to a pre-war condition. This was a very modern, very dark apartment, and it's a beautiful location on overlooking the Museum of Natural History. And it's a wonderful landmark building, and I think that as we go through this apartment, you'll see that I think we've returned it to the grandeur of the days of pre-war. We're going to start here in the living room and then walk through the den since it's right here. We transformed the space by changing the radiator covers, using the stone from the kitchen, which is a natural stone quartz, putting moldings back on the windows so that the windows look like they should have been, even though they're a little bit odd. They don't have the window casings around them. But you can see that here we just put in a sill. We attached it to what was just the square opening of the window frame. Upgraded the covers by adding the stone tops and changing the way the panels are attached to the cover. Added, even though there were existing sliding doors, this is for the den, and I guess if they have guests, they'll pop in here with, their blow-up beds or whatever they choose to use, but I don't think it'll be a day bed. It used to be a day bed, it was really dark. But again, did more of our modern pre-war versions of a radiator cover. That whole panel's removable. I designed this and love doing and adding built-ins as part of what we do. We have basically an entertainment unit that hides their television and has the slide-in doors, and this whole panel pulls out with access for wiring behind it, which is wonderful for, I guess, anybody today. But I think we're really pleased with this. And then on this side, we have access to the master area and bathroom, but we're going to go back through the living room and take a look, because it's a lovely, grand entrance, if you will, the symmetry of the openings of the door from the foyer in. From the foyer, you also can go back to the service area and the kitchen. But let's take a walk through and see what's in the kitchen and dining room. One of the things that we really loved about this apartment was that this was open. And that came from a prior renovation before the kitchen was closed off, as was typical in the days earlier, where cooks were to be, and usually it was staff cooking, not the way we live today, where the kitchen and an open kitchen is the heart of entertaining and family. So now what we have is 17 feet of all custom details. Everything that I've designed here and we build is in a way taking from an arts and craft and putting a sophisticated twist on it. It's between deco and traditional and contemporary, but all the tiny stepped edges of the raised panel, the symmetry in the baseboard, the natural stone quartz countertop is absolutely stunning. And I think what's great about this countertop is that it looks like it's just so rich. It looks like you're underwater, and it's kind of hard to find these slabs. very difficult. We couldn't bookend it, but I think the flow of the texture of the veining in this top is phenomenal, and because it's natural quartz, it's pretty impervious to staining, scratching. It's a really durable surface. We did the restoration, you know, that kind of pre-war lighting to add drama here in the kitchen. Used, I think, a great color combination in the grays and soft grays in here with the flooring, which is porcelain. Sub-zero refrigerator. We have a wine cooler. I mean, this is really quite the kitchen. A wine cooler. Our drawer microwave, which is like a must-have, I think, for any modern kitchen now. We just love drawer microwaves. The dishwasher, the triangle is pretty classic. The dishwasher is to the right of the sink. Your double pull-up garbage to the left. We have a huge pantry with pull-out drawers in here in the lower part. Plenty of space, we believe, plenty of space for a kitchen of this size, because it's 15 feet on the island, 17 feet on the wall, dimmable, you know, lighting under and in cabinet. We love the La Cornue black range. I just am thrilled that the clients would work with color, and I think this is such a great centerpiece from just any perspective of this kitchen. It's just wonderful. White Caesar stone. This is pure white Caesar stone countertops. This is a white fantasy. They call it white fantasy quartz, but it's really a grand kitchen. And I think that for living, you know, you can access the kitchen from the foyer. You can access this whole dining area and suite from the living room, and then have another access separately back to the master bedroom, which you can close off, and there's a hallway out in the back that keeps it quiet. But let's go look at the office that's back here. This is the service entrance in the back. There's another closet here. But back in this area, which will become an office, I'm sure, is the full washer and dryer, full-size Bosch washer and dryer, and then the powder bath. So, you know, it's really a wonderful area, accessible. All major change of the floor. The walls are already moved, but we had to bring everything, you know, upgrade everything. But we left the powder bath the way it is, because we thought that it worked. And we had such a major time constraint with this apartment. We had, oh my gosh, we had less than 90 days to finish it. There's an elevator shutdown because they're replacing both elevators, and so we literally are 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and they're moving in. The shutdown is the 23rd, they're moving in on the 11th, and we could have moved them in really tomorrow, but that's, you know, today is the 5th, I believe, of December. So let's walk through the dining room and then go through the back bedroom area. And I think that once they finally move in, they have so much space to work with, and in New York, that's such a luxury for about a 2,500 square foot apartment. It's just stunning. I know I would love to have this kitchen. But back here now, back in the master area, we have access again from the living room or from the dining room. We have a big master closet, walk-in closet outside of the master suite, and another closet area in the master suite. But there's more than enough closet space in here. And we had a challenge in this apartment because the flooring changed. We had to repair the flooring. The old layout of the apartment had a completely different pattern of the wood, so we had to clean it up, rip it up, and make it the way it should in terms of lining up with the door openings and adding casings that match the existing casings. There are privacy locks on these sliding pocket doors, but on the other side, but we really had to clean this up because it was a mess. So again, you can go straight to the den through the living room or go back to the dining room kitchen area. I really love the layout of this apartment. It's got a circular flow, and the hallway, which is, I think, great. It's easy to get around here and accessible to everything. So the master bedroom, again, faces north. It's got the matching stone tops, and you know, the radiator covers are similar everywhere. We brought it back to where it needed to be. I think there's one big closet in here. There's speakers wired throughout the apartment if they choose to go that way with their entertainment system. But from the master suite, then we walk into the master bath area, which we can access by, again, another whole huge set of, there's 4 different closets, which are enormous. My typical treatment, which I love, is the is the frameless glass shower. Again, this is all honed statuary marble, typical of Paula McDonald design build. Here we finish every edge with with pencils and curbs that are pitched just right, and all of the door stops are where they need to be. It's a very classic, the bigger version of the hex floor, again in the matching marble, honed. We pulled the baseboard in marble too because we thought that made more sense. I happen to love the Palladium line, which really works for this pre-war era. And we have our Roburn cabinets that have the electrical outlets in them. Again, I think this is just, with the beveled mirrors, it just turned it into a fabulous apartment. Now, when you look at the before pictures of this as they cut into this video, what's changed here is the shower is the same, the closets are the same. The toilet was here where the sink was, the window was covered up. So we've put in a double master vanity and just changed where our toilet is and brought natural light back in. And of course the window treatments are coming in next, but I think it makes a huge change, and it's so much more of a wonderful master suite now, instead of bathroom suite, instead of just kind of a weird bathroom, which you'll see when you look at those cut-ins. And in this area we have the tub, again accessible with a pocket door and the locks. Easier to use, I think, than trying to lock the door the other way, but it's really a push latch. So when you close, when you want to lock for privacy, it's an easy thing to have. And again, we kept the tub, but we changed everything. So I think having the integration of this beautiful honed subway tile, it's a 4x12 tile, but it's just gorgeous. We had problems with firewalls and chases. We actually had to, and coming back here, we actually had to build out this wall. It wasn't really necessary, but the building gave us a really hard time. There was more than enough room behind this wall, and you don't fight with the building and the architects in the building. So we built the wall out, which you can see here, so that I could add the light fixtures and the medicine cabinets. Otherwise, they weren't going to let us cut out the wall, even though it's a huge chase because of it's really the building. More than anything else, we could have restored the fire protection that's required, because there's about 4 feet between this building and the other building. We had plenty of room, but we had to come into the space, and we just couldn't lose any more dimension here. So we chose to build the wall, to bump out the wall, so that we could accommodate the design that we had originally intended for this. And then on the other side of this, and we'll walk this way. On the other side, we have the powder bath, which is accessible if you were in the other room. If you were coming from the living room or the den, you can at least have the privacy with this pocket door closed if someone is in the rest of the other master bathroom, and still have the ability, or close that off when you have guests, have the ability to have this little powder bath. And compared to the modern version before, it's just stunning how much has changed. And I think one of the great things about it is this cute little nook for the toilet paper holder and the world's tiniest sink. I think it's the world's tiniest vanity, but we love it. Typical of me, it's like what I love to do in designing for small spaces. So I guess we'll say ciao for now and see you on the next one.